Uh, yeah, I mean, we just read the first part of the the brief description to the entire chapter also. So
Okay.
there were doubts as to what is Hamsa Guya, who here secret Hamsa. So then that was one thing, and
Mhm.
that was the main thing. Then we read 1, 2, and the third was.
Okay. 1, 2, you read. Okay. So we start with maybe 4 then.
Okay.
Okay. If you have any questions from the previous verses, we can take those also. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Namo
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Yada Prachetatha Putra.
Yada
Yada
Prachetasah
Prachetasah
Putra.
Putra
Dasha Prachina Varhisha.
Dasha Prachina Varhisha.
Antah Samudrad Unmagna.
Antah Samudrad Unmagna.
Magna
Dadushurgam Drumairvritam.
Dadashur Gam Drumayavritam.
Drumayadvatam.
Yes, please. Someone like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. May I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sukadev Goswami said, when the 10 sons of Prachinabari emerged from the waters in which they were performing austerities, they saw that entire surface of the world was covered by trees. When the king Prachinabari was performing Vedic rituals in which the killing of animals was recommended, Narad Muni, out of compassion, advised him to stop. Prachinabari understood Narad properly, then left the kingdom to perform austerity in the forest. His 10 sons, however, were performing austerities within the water, and therefore there was no king to see to management of the world. When the 10 sons of the Prachetas came out of the water, they saw that the earth was overrun with trees. When the government neglect agriculture, which is necessary for the production of food, the land become covered with unnecessary trees. Of course, many trees are useful because they produce fruits and flowers, but many other trees are unnecessary. They could be used as fuel and the land cleared and used for agriculture. When the government is negligent, less grain is produced as stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.44. Krishi Goraksha Varijyam Vaisya Karma Shobhavaja. The proper engagements of Vaisyas according to the nature are to frame, to farm and to protect the cows. The duty of government and the Kshatriya is to see that the member of this, the third class Vaisya, who are neither Brahmanas nor Kshatriya, are thus properly engaged. Kshatriya are meant to protect human beings, whereas Vaisyas are meant to protect useful animals, especially cows. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Just a moment. Yes. So, we know the story of Maharaj Prachina Barhishat and how he had been engaged in ritualistic ceremonies, and in the process, he was becoming more and more entangled in the material world. At that time, Narad Muni approached and told him the story of Maharaj Puranjan. And in the end, after the end of the story, he explained that my dear Prachina Bharishat, this Puranjan is you. This is your story. So now don't waste your time in this kind of materialistic activities. Just take sannyas and leave this world. So Prachina Bharishat, being an intelligent king, he immediately understood and he left. So in his absence, actually, his sons had also gone to perform austerities. So they had gone away, and in that time, the trees had overgrown the earth. And that's going to be the story now. So in their absence, so here Srila Prabhupada is explaining that, see, what is the what is the role of a king? You know, when the government is negligent, less grain is produced. So king is not just here to maintain the the economic activities or law and order, but also the spiritual status. So the king's job, actually, that's why the job of a king or a leader, any sort of leader, a father, a guru, a king, they involve a lot of unpleasant activities, and that's why saintly souls avoid such positions. So naturally, to maintain the economic order of the society, the king has to deal with Vaishyas and Shudras. He's a Kshatriya. Naturally, he takes guidance from the Brahmanas, but he directly has to deal with Shudras and Vaishyas, with whom Brahmanas don't really have any dealings. Brahmanas don't deal with Shudras and Vaishyas in reality. In an ideal Vaishnava society, in an ideal Brahmanical society, in an ideal Vedic society. But Kshatriyas have to deal. And naturally, these two Varnas, they are in a lower position. So therefore, by by controlling them, to control them, the Kshatriyas naturally have to understand their nature and engage them, sometimes even punish them. And this is all very unpleasant for those who are strictly transcendental. Therefore, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, they generally avoid such positions. So, Kshatriyas are meant to protect human beings, whereas Vaishyas are meant to protect useful animals, especially cows. So, Kshatriyas protect, of course, the king has a duty to protect all the subjects, like Prabhupada says, not just the humans, but primarily humans, and through them, protect the animals also, animals and plants. So, in such an activity, actually, Kshatriya has to deal with lower modes of nature. And naturally, he is very much affected by such association. Therefore, Kshatriyas have to take sannyas beyond a certain age. But as we see that many times, Kshatriyas actually even fall down. So, therefore, the position of a leader is very dangerous because a leader has to deal with lower modes of nature also. This is applicable to a father, a guru, a husband, a king, everyone. And therefore, they must be more austere to protect themselves and those who are their wards. Hare Krishna. Yes, any questions or comments here? Okay, then we continue. Text 5. Drumebhya कृथयमानास्ते
Drumebhya
Hridayamanaste
तपोदीपित मन्यवः
tapodipita manyava
ततो वायुम् अग्निं च
vayum
ससृजुस्तद् दिधिक्षया.
Sasrajus
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, so someone. Yes,
Go on,
please.
Prabhu. Pranab Prabhu, you go.
Thank you. Translation. Because of having undergone long austerities in the water, the Prachetas were very angry at the trees. Desiring to burn them to ashes, they generated wind and fire from their mouths. Purport. Here the word tapodipita indicates that persons who have undergone severe austerity, tapasya, are endowed with great mystic power as evinced by the Prachetas, who created fire and wind from their mouths. Although devotees undergo severe tapasya, however, they are vimanyava, sadhava, which means that they are never angry. They are always decorated with good qualities. Bhagavatam 3:25-21 states, Titikshava karunikah surada sarvadehinam ajata shatravah shantah sadhava sadhu bhushana. A sadhu, a devotee, is never angry. Actually, the real feature of devotees who undergo tapasya, austerity, is forgiveness. Although a Vaishnava has sufficient power in tapasya, he does not become angry when put into difficulty. If one undergoes tapasya but does not become a Vaishnava, however, one does not develop good qualities. For example, Hiranyakashipu and Ravan also performed great austerities, but they did so to demonstrate their demonic tendencies. Vaishnavas must meet many opponents while preaching the glories of the Lord, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends let them not become angry while preaching. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this formula, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadina, Kirtaniya Sudahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Those engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord should be humbler than grass and more tolerant than a tree. Then they can preach the glories of the Lord without difficulty. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hmm. So, So desire. See, Prachetas were performing austerities so that they could come back and repopulate this world. Act as Prajapati. So naturally, their desires were somewhat materialistic. So naturally, when they saw that, I mean, they were meant to establish order over this world, and when they came out and they saw that trees had disrupted their plans, they were naturally angry. And when one performs austerities, actually something as simple as simple maintenance of brahmacharya, one acquires a lot of mystic powers. Actually, simply by observing strictly the principles of brahmacharya, one acquires a lot of power, mystic powers. So naturally, the Prachetas also had this power and they could generate fire and other things. But the point was that they could not control their anger. So, like Titikshava Kanonika, Suhrada Sarvadehinam, Ajata Shatrava Shanta, Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. A sadhu, a devotee, is never angry. So, why does a sadhu not become angry? Why does a sadhu tolerate everything? Like even Prahlad Maharaj was not angry. Lord came and killed his father. He said, "Oh, please, have mercy on his demonic soul." Haridas Thakur looked at the soldiers who were beating him with compassion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when his own students decided to beat him up, Mahaprabhu decided to take sannyas. Mahaprabhu thought that these rascals, they are thinking of punishing me and eternally going to hell. They would eternally go in hell because except for me, who can deliver these fools? So this is a karuna. Where does this quality come from actually? That is something that is worth asking here. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Tranad api sunichena taror api sahishuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. But where is this coming from? The root cause of this thought process is that a devotee is free from the concept of I and mine. What is anger? If we see Bhagavad Gita, what is the root of anger? Anyone remembers from Gita how what Lord is describing?
Kama Prabhuji, from lusty desires.
Yes, but what is lust?
Enjoyment for sense enjoyment, Prabhuji. First is desire to sense enjoyment, any kind of, and we not able to achieve it, or somebody trying to do it. Somehow or other, our anger is arising due to the obstacle, or somebody is trying to grab it. So somehow or other, this anger is not fulfilling the desires, or maybe it will go away. Fear of future. So somehow these are the cause of anger, Prabhuji.
So why is a Vaishnava not angry?
Yes. So if the Vaishnava is not having because he's not having this lusty desire, he's controlled kama.
Yeah. Krishnendriya Priti Vancha Dhare Prema Naam. Vaishnava is trying to serve Krishna. When we are talking of Krishna, where is the question of Aham Mameti? So therefore, the root cause of lusty desire, the root cause of anger is the concept of I and mine. It is mine and you have disturbed it, so I am angry. Therefore, a Vaishnava is Nishkam. He is Nishkam. So Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiva Shant. Bhokti Mukti Siddhi Kami Shakale Ashant. So they are Bhokti and Siddhi Kamis, the Prachetas. Therefore, they are angry. You're getting the point here. Because they have gone there for some purpose, which is not pure Krishna consciousness. Therefore, this anger is manifesting.
Yes, Prabhuji, I was supposed to ask this question. You have already answered it. Thank you, Prabhu.
You can ask the question so that maybe
So
there is some other dimension.
this used to be my question, but already I got the answer. This because after having so many years of austerity, I mean, they met Lord Shiva. He is Param Vaishnava. He also helped them out of coming water, getting Vaishnava's mercy. Maha Vaishnava's mercy, he got angry. All of them got angry and started cutting the trees,
Yeah, they started burning the trees.
burning the trees.
Yeah, it was the same thing, because their purpose was to purify themselves and then repopulate this world. And now these trees are disrupting their plans, so they are unhappy. But but a devotee doesn't see anything. Devotee sees everything as Krishna's plan. A devotee sees Krishna's planning in everything. Devotee doesn't think that this is wrong or this is right. He knows whatever is happening by the will of the Lord, so he doesn't get angry. Nishkam ataiva shant. Prachetas, on the other hand, got angry. Yeah.
So
So
probably like this, we often it is in people. Many all of us knows that like sadhus, people have a fear. Common people also in society don't know. They knows sadhus, babas. They get angry. Saap de denge, curse de denge. They will curse. So somehow or other in like common people, they know even this yogi or tapasvi or sadhu. If they angry, they will burn out of their anger. So they are
yes,
not also devotee Prabhuji, right? They are
yeah,
not Vaishnavas, are not in that class.
because Vaishnava is only living for Krishna. He doesn't even consider his own body to belong to himself. So if there is some offense against his body or his mind, he doesn't take it very seriously. He knows this is Krishna's will which is at play. If, like, for example, you go outside and someone is throwing stones at the neighbor, you might be concerned. You might think, okay, what's he doing? You might want to stop it and protect your neighbor, but you'll not get angry. You'll see that as a disruption, you'll see that as a nuisance, but you'll not take it personally because it's it doesn't belong to you. So just like that, Vaishnav, even his own body, he doesn't consider his own.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes. So, any other questions or comments here on this verse?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. So,
Dandavat
Prabhuji,
Pranam.
we can understand it this way also, no? Okay, those who are practicing mixed devotional service, they get angry and all. But those who are practicing pure devotional service, they generally would not fall prey to anger.
Yes. Actually, this. I have forwarded one lecture today in the group. You should hear this. I think this is literally the best lecture that Kishan Prabhu has given so far.
Mhm.
This one you should listen. What is the root cause of our problem? This aham mameti. You should read about that. That's a very good lecture.
Hmm.
See, the point is that our own sadhana itself is not our effort. Prakriti kriyamanani. We are only able to desire. Krishna is allowing us to even practice this sadhana.
Hmm.
So that is the standard. If we think like this, we will not be affected by anger, even when someone is disturbing our bhakti.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes. So
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, so then in this case, so like as Prabhupada is mentioning here, that Kshatriyas are supposed to be uh, controlling others in the previous verse we saw. And here the trees are supposedly disrupting their work. So they got angry. But then we also see that Arjuna also got angry while he was battling. Although there he was directly angry because on Krishna's order. But
Correct.
here the Prachetas were supposed to be Prajapatis.
Yeah.
So then why is here like the anger of Prachetas considered worse than the anger of Arjuna?
This is I would say this is a bit of a, like we can say, a bit of a controversial topic, like not very black and white in that sense. Arjuna's anger was a part of his Kshatriya nature. They're just like, Krishna is inciting him to get angry. And immediately after the war is over, Arjun's anger vanishes.
Hmm.
Arjuna is getting angry on the order of Krishna, not so for Prachetas. So Arjun was actually, even in the middle of the battle, Arjun was refraining, and Krishna was again inciting him to fire.
Hmm.
And again, Arjun was, bringing his Vaishnav nature forth. Why should I kill? It's okay.
Hmm.
We have already killed so many people. Why should we kill more? It's okay. Krishna, you told me to kill. I have killed some. Like, let's leave it here. So Krishna, no, you have to kill still further. Look at this poor Karna. Now all his army is dead anyway. He's down from his chariot. He's helpless. Then Krishna is again inciting him. He's saying, well, this Karna never thought of Abhimanyu or Draupadi. So why are you having compassion for him? So we see that Arjun's reluctance was a very natural consequence of his devotional service. Even in the middle of the battle, Krishna had to incite him a few more times to fight. And after the war, certainly there was no question of anger in case of Arjun. Arjun was more like a case study for Krishna. So, but Prachetas, they are just acting out of their own free will here. So, therefore, we can say that their anger is of a slightly lower standard than Arjun.
Hmm.
Like you see in the next few verses, 6th and 7th, how Som is going to talk to them. So, is this clear? Or is this
mean,
some
not
doubt left?
Yeah, I mean, not completely clear, but I'm just in the sense that so the Prachetas were supposed to be Prajapatis, right?
Correct.
So it was kind of a duty given to them by Vishnu, let's say.
Hmm.
So if the trees are disrupting their duty, or let's say when Prabhupada says that when in the name of serving Krishna we can go to any extent.
Hmm.
So how is this not service in that sense?
Ah. So you see, how did Arjun kill? Arjun killed the opponents who were fighting him. Okay, Dronacharya, Bhishmadev, Karna. But Prachetas are indiscriminately killing the trees. They're just angry, whichever tree they see, they're just burning them without the consideration of pious tree, impious tree, or how they should be killed. He's just killing all of them like en masse. Therefore, it's more motivated out of passion rather than their sense of duty. And because they are considering this their duty, like they are taking the ownership that we are supposed to do this. So they are feeling angry. A devotee does not even consider his duty to be his own.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, also they could have taken some guidance, before doing such a thing.
Yes, there is no guru
But
for them.
that,
They're just doing it themselves. Like, boom, boom, shab,
yeah,
kill everyone.
so that could have made a difference. I mean, a devotee, a person who's a devotee, before
Hmm.
any destruction, he would definitely think again, take some guidance, even if he wants to do that, the service of the Lord.
Yeah, see, Arjun, for example,
Yeah.
Krishna was telling Arjun whom to kill, how to kill.
Hmm.
But in this case, like, there was no guidance. They're just doing randomly.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so we continue text 6. Tabhyam nirdhyamanastan
ताभ्यां निर्दह्यमानास्तान्
upalabhya kurudvaha
उपलभ्य कुरुद्वः
rajovacha mahan somo
राजोवाच महान् सोमो
manyum prashamayanniva.
मन्युं प्रशमयन्निव.
Yes. Yes, would like to read?
I'll read to
Okay.
translation was given case from Prabhupada. Translation. My dear King Parikshit, when Soma, the king of trees and predominating deity of the moon, saw the fire and wind burning all the trees to ashes, he felt great sympathy because he is the maintainer of all herbs and trees. To appease the anger of the Prachita, Soma spoke as follows. Perfect. It is understood from this verse that the predominating deity of the moon is the maintainer of all trees and plants throughout the universe. It is due to moonshine that trees and plants grow luxuriously. Therefore, how can we accept the so-called scientists whose moon expeditions have informed us that there are no trees or vegetation on the moon? Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura says, Somo, Somo, Vishadi, Tata, Tatata, Sa Eva, Vrikshanam, Raja. Soma, the predominating deity of the moon, is the king of all vegetation. How can we believe that the maintainer of vegetation has no vegetation on his own planet? Hare Krishna.
Yes, so many points here. Hmm. So first and foremost, see, this is the nature of a demigod. So we have heard so much of criticism of demigods, and we feel like, we literally feel that demigods are just one step short of demons or something. So that's not the case. Demigods may be certainly materially motivated. Demigods certainly have, their own desires. They are influenced by lust, but they also have the qualities of the Supreme Lord manifesting through them. In the sense that demigods have the compassion of the Supreme Lord. That's why they are demigods. They are demigods because they have a desire to rule. This materialistic desire to be the Lord and Master, but at the same time, they possess the quality of goodness. They know what is right, what is wrong, and they trust and they respect the Vedas. Therefore, they are demigods. So they may exhibit some lower nature some once in a while, but predominantly they are in the mode of goodness. So here we see also the same qualities manifested by Soma. Soma could have thought, who cares, like one planet, some plants are being burnt. No, but he felt compassion for innocent trees. It's not that trees were trying to destroy the world or anything. They had just grown because no one had been controlling their growth. So to destroy them so indiscriminately was not a very pleasant idea for Soma. Therefore, he felt compassion for them. And here also one more thing that we understand is about Chandralok, the planet of Som. Chandra is the predominating deity of vegetation. So certainly there is no question that moon should be a dry, deserted planet. Like Prabhupada used to say, they have not gone to moon, they have probably gone to some lower planet like Rahu or something. So these things are difficult to understand, and not that they have direct consequence for our spiritual life, but we should understand that Som is the planet of vegetation. So definitely moon is a forested planet, not a dry, barren, deserted one. Hare Krishna. Yes, any questions or comments here?
Prabhuji, are there any description of moon having vegetation anywhere in the scriptures?
There must be some other scriptures, but not in Bhagavatam particularly, because there is like nothing spiritually significant about moon in Bhagavatam.
Hmm.
Maybe some other Puranas we can refer, but as such, this is not really significant for us.
Hmm. Okay.
I mean, Vedic knowledge is practically unlimited. How much can we research? All right, so we stop here today. We continue tomorrow with the next verse.
Prabhuji,
Thank you very much.
Haribol. Sorry,
Yes.
Prabhu. One question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
Prabhuji, just like like Acharya's comment on Bhagavad Gita's Arjuna's illusion, Arjuna became very become illusion in the battlefield of Kurukshetra and decided not to fight. And it was an arrangement of plan of Krishna to speak Bhagavad Gita. So
Hmm.
here, like this Prachetas who perform austerity, although they are Kshatriyas, and Kshatriya, being a Kshatriya, they supposed to rule. And the anger which arises, is it not to a plan to marry that girl, that moon girl, which who is going to give? And is it not to create progeny? Is it not go like plan of the Supreme Lord? Is it not this way we could also understand?
You could also understand, I mean, everything happens by the will of the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu.
But the will of the Lord also acts through the patra,
Okay.
There must be some recipient in that sense. Like Arjuna was a Kshatriya, so he fought. So here in this case, Prachetas have that nature, so the will of the Lord is manifesting through them. I mean, certainly Prachetas are very pious souls, they are not some demons or anything. So yes, this is the will of the Lord. That's why it is finding a mention in the Bhagavatam also.
Bhagavatam, yes, Prabhu.
In fact, Srila Prabhupada even says that even these people like Duryodhan, Dushasan, even they are devotees of the Lord only. That's why they are be allowed a chance to participate in such a pastime.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay?
So the learning is for us out of their anger is learning us. Prabhupada is pointed out in the purport about this angerness. That is the lesson for us, for a devotee actually, from this purport.
Yes. So, I mean, these are mysteries we cannot really understand unless the Lord reveals them to us or the
Okay.
acharyas.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
So we stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Hare